Hello everyone, it's me Luna and I'm currently playing Sydney as well. Let's get going. Nope. Large open books like these have stories written by dad. Go to the pages on the right and press the spacebar to read. Give them a try. Actually it's enter instead of spacebar, but where? This is chapter 1 of the Majesty. Would you like to read it? Yes. The Majesty, chapter 1. Before there were castles, towns or even elves, magic animals known as Majesty ruled the world. The Majesty were immortal, which meant they could live forever, but only if they retained their magic. If they used too much, it would be gone forever, and they would become ordinary animals. Every year the Majesty gathered in an undersea oasis known as Seastone. The purpose of these meetings was to celebrate great events and also to settle any disputes the various Majesty had. As the years passed, there was more arguing and less celebrating. Herbivores complained that the carnivores were becoming too fat and greedy. Carnivores complained that the herbivores were too fast and well protected. Scavengers complained that the carnivores did not leave enough meat for them. Many Majesty believed these disputes would never be resolved. They became angry. Some sharpened their claws and fangs, while others strengthened their legs and hooves. It seemed a war would break out at any time, yet year after year a strong wise gnu named Gnud managed to keep the peace. He had to use nearly all of his magic to do so. Gnud had a little magic left by the end of the meetings, that he was almost defenseless when he got back to his homeland. One year the gathering was worse than ever before. He had no choice but to use all of his power to prevent a war. The other Majesty were too busy arguing to help him. When it was time to leave Seastone, Gnud did not have any magic left to breathe underwater. The following year the Majesty were so angry they didn't even notice Gnud was gone. They started arguing and did not stop. They could not settle their differences with words. The Majesty split into several groups and fought a great war that lasted many years. Each Majesty was determined to win, and none held back any of their magic. One by one, the Majesty became ordinary animals. Except, unknown to all the Majesty, in the confusion of the first battle, a young rat named Dragtatarat fled into a small hole and saved the magic. While all the Majesty were fighting, Dragtatarat left Seastone and swam to the surface. When Dragtatarat returned to the Seastone the following year, he was in for a horrible shock. All of the Majesty were gone. All that was left were skeletons. Some of the bones were piled too high that he could not see the top. After searching everywhere, Dragtatarat realized that were no more Majesty. He was the last of them. Filled with anger and sorrow, Dragtatarat swam back to the surface and mourned his fellow Majesty for many years. There was nothing he could do to bring the Majesty back, and ordinary animals could not communicate with him. In despair, Dragtatarat curled up in the darkest corner of the deepest cave and slept for thousands of years. Dragtatarat had many dreams in these years. He dreamt of the good times when the Majesty did not argue. He dreamt of songs and feasts. Many times he would dream of Gnud and rise from his sleep in tears, crying out his failure to help him. As more years went by, Dragteterat dreams turned darker. He dreamt of the many disputes the Majesty had. He dreamt of the final argument that led to the war. He dreamt of the war itself and the end of the Majesty. As time marched by and the Ice Age encompassed the world, Dragteterat no longer remembered the good years. He had nightmares over and over again, his small body twitching against the icy cave floor. In times, the Ice Age ended, but Dragteterat's nightmare did not. Many more thousands of years went by. He may have dreamt dark dreams until the end of time. But his sleep was disturbed by a race he had never seen before, dwarves. They were digging, always digging, for gold, iron, and many other things. One day, they dug right into the cold, dark corner of Dragteterat's cave. End of chapter 1. Oh, pretty nice. Laws and Bylaws of the Kingdom, Volume 1. Conformance documents adopted by the Royal Kingdom. Planning Area Petition Ordinance. I wonder what that is. By adoption of this ordinance, the governing body of the Royal Kingdom established that the municipality shall conform its master plan development regulations and all other regulations applicable to the use of development of land within the planning area of the municipality to achieve consistency with goals, requirements and provisions of the Highlands Regional Master Plan. There are 3 more pages. I feel bad for anyone who has to read this boring, confusing book. Even though I know a lot of these words, it still didn't make any sense. Agreed. Look around. When I was a lad, my ma used to stew a lamb shank for hours until the meat slid right off the bone. With only wee bit of meat. Now with some ham, you can hold it up and take a chunk of it big as you like. Who cares how big a bite you can take if it's a giant chewy lump of fat? Do I have to do the ham dance again? Move on, food on the table again, and I'll pour a hot cauldron of lamb stew on it. Would do the same. Ham. Lamb shanks, I say. Delicious mouth-watering ham, and only ham. Enough of ham, I'm sick of it. What we need is some nice tasty lamb shanks are what I've give to tear into a juicy shank. Time to break out the ham dance. Who loves ham? Everybody. Who hates ham? Nobody. Go ham, go ham. The only thing worse than ham is the ham dance. Put a sock on in it. Oh, I already had it. Ah, come on. I'm not using the stairs right now, just looking around on the lower floor and then go to the upper floor. Easier that way to keep track. The war with stairs will drag on forever. It will never end.
How do you know?
The war has already lasted a long time. We have better weapons, but they have stronger magic. I think both sides are about equal.
I have
I tell you what else makes sense, getting some rest before you see the king. Yep. Nobody's happy all the time. We aren't designed that way. There may have once been a species that was happy all the time, but they are long since extinct. Lovable dead. That makes sense. At least I'm not always happy. The mind binds itself through laziness and through constancy to that which is easy or agreeable. This habit always limits our knowledge, and no one ever took pains to stretch and guide one's mind as far as it could go. La Rochefoucauld. The war with the elves should be over soon. We will be victorious.
How do you know?
Everybody knows it. That's how.
How do they know?
Because they do. That's how.
So, you just believe what everyone else says?
What? Why? Of course not.
So which is it then? It can't be both because they're opposites. You really don't know, do you?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what's going on around here, but neither do you. Bye!
This bookshelf is filled with magazines, newspapers, editorials, self-help manuals, and a signed copy of the Thelonious Deudemon's How I Made My First Million Gold. An editorial from a local paper is highlighted and titled Why the Elves Will Lose. How about just sign a contract so that the war is over? Just asking. Is that your mud?
Mutt? How rude! Biscuit is a cavapoo.
Kabi, what? The mud seems to like you. Then again, she likes everyone. Haha.
How did she get here?
I heard the crazy witch lady had it with her when she was captured.
What? What crazy witch lady?
I don't know, something about coming from another world and such. Nobody can understand what she's saying because she's yelling all the time.
I'll have you know I came from another world.
You? Better watch what that pretty little mouse or you'll get locked up to I don't like sitting with my back to the door. Me either. Does anyone really think that disgustingly stinky cheese will taste better than it smells? No. Finally, I have cleaned the last dish. I'll tell you one thing about knights. They are always hungry.
I'm hungry.
You shouldn't look like a knight.
I beat a troll girl.
Oh, is that so?
Yep. Well, our guardian helped us.
You're the girl from that other world. Oh, you poor dear. I'm sorry, but we only have one corn muffin left.
A corn muffin? Yes.
Shows corn muffin in mouse. Waiting.
That was the best corn muffin I've ever had. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go upstairs. Do a quick save. Go on.
Excuse me, do you know where...
Shh, be quiet or he'll... Knock knock. Groans. Tell another knock-knock joke.
That's okay. I like knock-knock jokes.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink, who?
Make up your mind. Are you a pig or an owl? Knock. Silence. I have the greatest knowledge of knock-knock jokes in the whole kingdom. I have to admit, his knock-knock jokes are pretty good. The greatest shortcoming of hindsight is not failing to reach the goal, but going past it. La Rouge for cold. Mediocre minds ordinarily condemn everything beyond their reach. La Rouge for cold. Small minds are hurt too much by small things. Great minds see them all and are not hurt by them. La Rouge for cold. Can't read? I'm looking for a book about little dogs that bark all the time, but I can't seem to find one.
What do you want a book about that for?
Because 3 of them live near my house and I hear them barking constantly. I need help.
I have a little dog named Biscuit, but she barely barks at all.
Wait, I found something. It says here a wizard named Smoo created a spell called the Everbark. It makes small dogs bark continuously.
Why would Smoo create a spell like that?
It says here Smoo did not like his neighbors.
My dad says it's important to be considerate of our neighbors. Maybe that's why he spent so much time treating Biscuit not to bark.
If you ever meet this Smoo, tell him to please create an anti-spell to the Everbark. Tell him I'll give him as much gold as he wants.
What do you want? Why would my dad's? Why did the little cat go to Minnesota?
What's Minnesota?
To get a mini soda.
Why did the knight cross the crossroad? Why did the knight cross the road?
Why?
To get the other castle.
Why did you cross the road?
Why?
Because I told you to.
Isn't she from beyond reality?
What do you?
She looks pretty similar.
Why would my dad's?
If anybody knows, please tell me. I'm pretty sure. I can't go left and right, so let's talk to the middle one. After you speak with the king, you will not be able to explore the rest of this side of the castle. Are you sure you are ready to proceed? Komm ja gar nicht drin. I can't go around, so... Oh, escape means yes. Well, anyway, let's save. Nobody likes Bioro, but we all have to listen to him.
Is that so?
Bioro, please, I didn't.
Does anyone else feel like mouthing off?
One time, Bioro made something get 10 tickets. The king is expecting you. Do not make him wait.
We would like to see the king.
Ignoring Sydney.
We would like to see the king. Please?
Do you have a number?
What? What number?
There is a ticket machine right over there that will give you a ticket with a number on it.
Huh? Why do we need a ticket with a number on it?
The number on the ticket tells you what order you will be able to see the king
There's nobody else online.
If you do not have a ticket, I cannot announce you.
But
When you are the queen in your castle, as if that could ever happen, then you can make the rules.
Well, let's try cast a spell.
Spell from a weak mind. Away with you fools!
Didn't work so well.
we would like to see the king. We would.
Do you-
What? Huh?
Then
There's. But.
when
Well, let's get a ticket then.
Dumb ticket. Number 1. Oh, brother.
Waiting. Taps feet. Waiting more. Bored.
it seems your ticket is slightly torn. No defective tickets are allowed.
But.
You must get another ticket if you would like to see the king.
Great choice there. I told Bioro the king did not like his ticket machine idea, but did he listen? No. The king is merciful, perhaps too merciful. I can hear you, you know. I'm aware of that, your majesty. You are implying that I should not be merciful with our guests. No, your majesty. Then explain yourself. Never mind, your majesty. The king is kind of generous, but yes, but also so very weary. Do not try his patience. What? That looks strange again. Yep. Show respect to the king, kneel before him. Well, I better look down. There seems like secret passages somewhere hidden. But where? There is nothing. Well, maybe story related. I can only guess. So let's go upstairs and talk to the king. Save again. Welcome. I'm sorry for tests of the Guardians, but I had to be sure. The memory spell you put on me, I remember you are the king and you followed Niram, but I don't know what happened after that. Yes, Snowball, that's right. I followed him to your world, but did not find him. I brought you here to help save Sydney, and I see that you have. Thank you for bringing me here, but I must ask, why didn't you save her? I could not risk my life for hers.
What? Are you sure that you passed the test of intelligence and wisdom? What about sacrifice?
My responsibilities are too many to my people and my world, so it caused me great distress to know you were captured. That is why I helped Snowball to find your dad, whom I also brought you here. You brought Dad here? Yes, to save Sydney. I had him trained by the greatest wizard in this world, except Niram, of course. So that he would be powerful enough to save her. Sydney, where is your dad? I would very much like to speak with him.
He's gone.
You poor child. I am sorry. Let me try to explain. The portal connection to your world was right next to your house. Niram didn't have much time. I was right behind him. He wasn't nearly so strong. Then he knew the portal was only temporary and he would never be able to get back without someone from that world. It was just very bad luck. That portal could have connected to anywhere on your world.
Bad luck is when you get a splinter or fall during recess and cut your knees. This is the worst luck in history.
Things could be worse. Many other boys and girls have to deal with adversity similar to yours. There is a war going on. 2 wars.
Worse, my dad is gone. Just give us the sailboat. That's why we're here. That's what we need.
Pretty straightforward, that girl. Impudent child. How dare you talk to the king that way? Shall I put her in the dungeon, your majesty? No, I don't believe she is aware of the proper etiquette in our world, so she should not be punished. Your majesty, at least let me give her a timeout. Sydney, you may borrow the saber, but it is the last in my kingdom. Nilram destroyed the rest. Go to the study and speak with my daughter. She has said many times, perhaps she will join you. But before you speak with her, I want you to have a word with my historian Bartholomew Bookwormicus. He knows more about our history than anyone. There is also an important matter he would like to discuss with you. The name was actually funny. Ah, that way I get there. Let's save. How often did I told you? I want Sydney in the first place. Sheesh, it was that hard. Your happiness depends far more on the number of instances of positive feelings than on their intensity when they hit. So to have a pleasant life, you should spread these small positive effects across time as eventually as possible. Yes, because nobody likes depressed people. Of course it's fine to be sometimes depressed, but not all the time. It gets annoying at one point. In real life, you do not know these odds. You need to discover them, and the sources of uncertainty are not defined. What little math we can do in the real world using the mild randomness of the bell curve does not take into account the scalable wild randomness that actually can occur. Taleb. As drowned worshippers do not write histories of their experiences, so it is with the losers in history, whether people or ideas. Science evidence is what events use to conceal their own randomness, particularly the black swan type of randomness. The reference point argument is as follows. Do not compute odds from the vantage point of the winning gambler, but from all those who started in the cohort. Taleb. A story from Cicero. Diagoras, a non-believer in the gods, was shown painted tablets bearing the portraits of some worshippers who prayed, then survived a subsequent shipwreck. The implication was that praying protects you from drowning. Diagoras asked, where are the pictures of those who prayed and then drowned? The drowned worshippers, being dead, would obviously be unable to say that they too prayed. Taleb, the Black Swan. I don't go into details here. What we see is not necessarily all that is there. History hides black swans from us, gives us a mistaken idea about the odds of these events. This is the distortion of science evidence. Taleb. The black swan is the rare event that nobody talks about, since they escape models, those that you would feel ashamed discussing in public because they do not seem plausible. Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Well, let's talk to that guy. Save before. Barnamum Bartolome Bogwormicus, at your
The
service.
king sent me to talk to you about something, and, I'm not exactly sure what it's about.
Ah, of course, the girl from another world. We have a bit of a problem here. Let me explain. The king believes you are indeed from another world, but is not sure about the other one.
Huh? Why do they think I'm from another world, but not her?
Most people here believes that she is an agent of Nilrim's. That's why the king ordered her locked away. The king might not have told you this, but Nilrim used to be his high wizard. Yet being the most powerful wizard wasn't enough for Nilrim. He wanted to rule the whole world. The king has a powerful army, so Nilrim knew he could never defeat them. Therefore, he used his magic to create a portal to another world to find more powerful weapons. He found them in your world. Okay, so how did I get there? Oh, I was getting to that part. The king is not only a great knight, but also a wizard himself. When Nilrim went into your world, the king went too. He was too late to save you, but took your toy elf with him because, well, that's another long story and has to do with the war against the elves. What? There was a war against elves in this world? Was? There still is. Only one elf city is left, Softagal.
But why would you fight against the elves? On my world, they are good and make toys.
Well, on this world they are evil, make bows and arrows and shoot people with them. Faints. There's much you could learn about our world from myself and the library here.
Can't. We have to go.
Very well, the king has asked me to give you a revive potion. They are extremely valuable. Revive means to bring back. This potion will bring back someone back to fight in battles again if they have no HP left.
Thank you. Come on, Snowball.
Waking up. Whoa, I feel sick. Before you go, the king has permitted me to discuss the royal family with you. This information might prove beneficial in your dealings with them. Now, where shall I start? With the oldest or the youngest? Yes, Cassandra, of course. Take a look at this picture. Isn't she just precious? Cassandra is the king's only daughter. She is the light of his life, and though he loves her with all his heart, he has raised her rather sternly so as not to spoil her. You may have noticed there is no queen in the castle. That is because our queen died in childbirth. She's actually really beautiful. I like the drawing. Cool. Even with the high wizard presence, there was nothing he could do to save her. Pauses. It is a sensitive topic, of course, so you shouldn't bring it up. Back to our princess. She splits her time between sailing and horseback riding. Well, when the king lets her have any free time, that is, most days she's required to learn the duties of a princess. Cassandra is usually happy, though she often wishes she had a mother. She doesn't actually miss the queen because she never knew her. Next, I will tell you about Kal-El. Here's a nice picture of him. You don't see him smile much these days. Cute. There was a lot to do with that, but mostly it was what happened to his brother. He wasn't been the same since. I strongly advise you don't bring that subject up. Kal-El is the prince and heir to the throne. He excels in all Warcraft and is the most powerful knight we have. I say in single combat there are none that could stand against him, except maybe for Darkseid. Kal-El is a dutiful son and a paladin. Besides being a powerful knight, he has strong magic powers. both to heal and to damage evil creatures. Carl is holed up at the temple of the One Pawn and has sworn not to marry until Nurem is defeated and the war ended. The king disagrees with this, but has not commanded him to do otherwise. And lastly, the king himself, he bears many heavy burdens and has not smiled fully in, dare I say, years. The king brought Snowball to our world because he sensed a powerful magic in her. We hope to be able to uncover that secret, and when that time comes, the king feels Snowball will prove to be a valuable ally. Really? Yes, Snowball, you are an elf from a not totally human world. In this world nobody knows what you will become. The king has suffered many losses you can possibly know about, yet still he carries on and leads us fearlessly. His own father was killed by an elf in the beginning of the war. He has shown remarkable restraint and compassion for all elf civilians. He does not understand why the elves attacked us, but even though he hopes to have peace with them again someday. The king has lost much that he once loved, but only one regret does he have: the withdrawal from Abigard. It was our capital city and housed our grandest castle. At the time, the king felt there were not enough knights to defend it. If they failed, the people would have been left unprotected. You can't possibly imagine how important Abigard was to our people, and even more to the king. He was raised in that castle as his father was before him, all the way back to the first Westergaard who ruled our kingdom centuries ago.
I think I know where this is going. Don't bring up the Avi Castle thingy to the king.
Correct. The king has granted permission for you to talk with Cassandra. There is a staircase here that goes directly to the hall by her study. You will need this key to get into the study to speak with her. Whoa. Pretty huge backstory, but well written again. Read the books here or go up to see Cassandra. I go up to see Cassandra because I already read the books. The books. Nothing. Nope. What makes the vanity of others insufferable is that it hurts our own La Rochefoucauld. We can appear great in an occupation beneath our merit, but we often appear small in our occupation greater than us. La Rochefoucauld. There's another mapping error. I guess some mapping errors needs to be fixed. So, what does my father want?
We need someone who can control a sailboat.
I can do that, but why would I?
I don't know. We are trying to find some famous knight who knows the way through the poison swamp.
You mean my brother? He is the most important knight in the whole kingdom.
Well, Emeralda said we should look for him.
We? Yeah, that includes me, you know. I'm on Team Sydney. I see, you must be the girl from the other world that father has talked about. He has actually given you permission to use the sailboat? Remarkable.
Yes, of course he has. The king knows how important our mission is.
Sorry that I skipped the one text from Sydney. Thinking. I do miss my brother. But I have to warn you, you're wasting your time. I will take you there. But there's no way he will leave the Temple of the One Palm until his mission is completed.
We have to try. Can we go now?
Sydney, wait. What about the crazy witch lady? Didn't you want to find out about her?
She's from our world, so yes, let's go.
Don't take too long. We have to get ready to sail. We can use the secret passage near the potions. Our envy always lasts longer than the happiness of those we envy. La Rouge for Cold. We arrive totally new at the various stage of life, and there we often lack experience despite the number of our years. La Rouge for Cold. I guess the NPC is the way further. Let's save before I check. Not that I missed something out. Nope, nothing here. We easily forgive our friends for shortcomings, which are of no concern to us. La Rouge for Cold. True. At least I do.
Mom!
Vermilchtung se bla.
Huh? Snowball, what is she saying?
I don't know, maybe she is a witch. Maybe she's trying to put a spell on us.
No, it's my mama, like. I think somebody put a spell on her.
Yelling. Mik stasnaf di la.
This is horrible. The king and everybody else here thinks she's working for Noam. We have to get her out of here.
Crazy of Bain ne sa ik.
Snowball, help me get her out of here.
Yelling even louder. Batsman ya hazai.
Snowball, keep her quiet.
Chaos mom's mouse. Muffled voice. Being star Mengola. Chom. Being star Mengola. Oh, she bite me. Ow, she bite me. Bad mom. Well, I'll never be able to get out of here with that woman yelling every second.
I know. I can put a sleep spell on her.
There's a secret passage that will lead us out the castle around here, somewhere. Great. Ooh, great, where? I don't remember. Not in this room, though. Oh well. I guess you don't care about rules. I guess. Oh, come on, Snowball.
Snowball? Are we there yet?
Almost, we are very close. Just another. I was on a shelf my whole life. I'm not good at sneaking around. There it is. Let's go quick when we get out of the castle. Search for magical transport by the northeast mountains. That was easy. Oh, let's choose the Cassandra on the map mains slot. So I walk with her. I like her really much. She looks pretty. So I guess after I play for 45 minutes, I guess I make a break here and continue tomorrow. So bye bye.